Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing some Toon test hand. Say that 3 times fast. Now, it's time for some Toon chaos. So I'm really excited for this deck because this deck is a deck that I have been anticipating for a long time. Ever since they announced the Toon BLS and that we were even going to have a Toon chaos set, I was like, oh, I'm building that. I am so building that deck, and I am so hyped for this deck. So I'm really excited for you guys to see this deck. I told you guys that in the Toon deck profile that I was going to be doing test hands of this deck, and boy am I excited for it. So we're going to get straight on to this, but before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon because we have some awesome rewards for you guys, like getting your name in the description of every single video, getting a signed card sent in the mail, or even getting requests for deck profile just like this one every single month that you are a patron. And I will say to you guys, I couldn't have done that better putting Toon Kingdom on the top of the deck. That was just magical. So let's go ahead and see what we can establish. Now, I will mention you guys, I am playing Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon in the deck, and a lot of you guys are probably like, why are you playing that? It's not that good of a card, and I will agree with you. It is not that good of a card, but establishing a board where you have Toon Blue Eyes, Toon Red Eyes, and Toon Dark Magician on your side of the field kind of gives you some style points and some flex points. So, I mean, why not? Why not establish a board that looks a little bit like this? I mean, how are you going to fight the guy across or girl across the table from you that's got a field like that? I mean, you got the 3 most iconic monsters on the field. I mean, that's gorgeous. Now, you don't have to play the Toon Blue Eyes. You can bump in a copy of Metaverse or a copy of Upstart Goblin, like I mentioned in the Toon video, but it is a really cool thing. Or Ancient Gear Golem. You can put Ancient Gear Golem, and plus it gives me an extra target. So let's go ahead and do a couple of test hands. I'm going to reveal a couple of hands to you guys, and then we're actually going to play out some hands for you guys, and I'm super excited for this deck. I'm super cool, and I'm really excited to see if I can get some live duels going with this deck or something once locals opens back up and I can actually go play at locals again. I'm really excited for you guys to actually see how well this deck functions because it's such a fun, crazy deck that can attack your opponent directly out of nowhere and end the game. This game, if you go first and your opponent can't get rid of your Toons or Toon World, you win the next turn. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, I'm going to attack you directly, and I'm going to win. So let's go ahead and cut the deck really quick and see what we can actually draw out of the deck. So I think it's going to be a BLS. It was Blue Eyes. So we're going to get Blue Eyes, Toon Page Flip, Toon Table of Contents, Blackstone, and a Comic Hand. So this hand's pretty funny, I will mention you guys, because we do have the copy of Toon Table of Contents that we can just immediately drop and get from our deck to our hand, the Toon Kingdom. And then we can establish the board. I'll show you guys how we can establish that crazy board. Okay, so let's go ahead and reveal it and drop the Toon Table of Contents on our side of the field. And once you drop the Toon Table of Contents, we're going to add from deck to hand something as simple as Toon Kingdom. And then you have the Toon Kingdom on your side of the field, tribute this, or banish the top 3 off the deck, which is Red Eyes, Blackstone, and Toon Mermaid. And then special summon, they're going to banish face down, but I'm just showing you guys that for conversation's sake. You wouldn't reveal them in a normal duel. Special summon out this. And then once you special summon out this is going to trigger. Special summon out the Toon Blue Eyes. You're already getting style points there. And then immediately activate Toon Page Flip. Reveal from your deck the Toon Blackluster Soldier, the Toon Dark Magician, and a second copy of... We don't have another copy, unfortunately, of Toon Red Eyes. I only play 2 in the deck. You can reveal Toon Mermaid. And then if your opponent does hit, which I'm going to shuffle these up. I don't know which one is which. I'm going to shuffle them up completely. Your opponent would randomly pick one. So I'm going to pick the middle one. I don't know what it is. And we're going to hit the BLS. And you establish a board like that. I mean, you get crazy boards like that. I had to show you that hand because that hand was just nuts. And then you can take an opponent's monster as well. And it can attack your opponent directly. And then this hits your opponent for 3k. These can attack the turn they're summoned. So that's... I saw that hand and I was like, I got to show this one. This is going to be too good. So that's basically how the deck functions. And right off the bat, you get a consistent hand like that to put those 3 monsters on board. You're going to show it off. And you could have got Dark Magician on the field as well. Like if you would have flipped the Dark Magician, you would have gotten that one instead of the BLS. So let's go ahead and draw out another hand. We're going to draw in a Toon BLS. Toon BLS, that's fine because you can actually send one to summon the other. Toon Harpy Lady. Toon Mermaid, and a copy of Pot of Extravagance. Now, I do play Extravagance in here. I don't have Extravagance still, but that's totally fine. You can use proxies, and if you guys want to see a perfect proxy video, we have a perfect proxy video. I'm thinking like the most viewed on YouTube, actually, of how to make these, if you guys want to see how to make them. But we're going to go ahead and use the Pot of Extravagance, banish 6, and then draw 2, which is our Dark Magician and our copy of Red Eyes. Now, this is about as bricky as the deck could get, because you can special summon out the Toon, you can special summon out the Toon BLS, but that's about as far as you're going to get with this hand because you don't have Toon World. Because if you had Toon World, you could summon the BLS and Utopia double if you didn't hit it with the copy of Extravagance. So that's something really important to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and do another test hand and see what we can actually get out. And see, I feel like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but like Toon Blue Eyes feels like a lucky charm to me. Like that card just feels so good in this deck to play around with. And it's just awesome to play around with it. Especially just to drop it against your opponent. They're like, oh my god, I just got Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon. What happened? Which is funny. It's really fun to do. So let's go ahead and do another draw test hand and see what we can do. This is going to be the last one for the draw test hands. We're going to draw into, that's fine, the comic hand, Toon. This is not a bad hand at all, because you're going to do something really simple with this hand and drop the Toon Table of Contents, add the Toon Kingdom from your deck to your hand, or your copy of Toon Bookmark, which then can add Toon Kingdom and then give you that extra protection on your side of the field, and then drop the copy of Toon BLS by tributing the copy of Toon BLS on your hand to be able to immediately put it on the field. You have the comic hand to take an opponent's monster, and the briefcase to be able to banish or to shuffle monsters back into the deck. And if you draw, you're going to get Toon Dark Magician, which is going to be kind of a brick, but it's fine. So let's go ahead and go into our actual play out hands. So let's play out some hands with this deck and see what we can pull off just to get those crazy fields rolling. So really, really excited to show you guys this deck, because you can actually summon my favorite XYZ monster in the entire game, which is Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, which is really cool to be able to do. So let's go ahead and draw out and see what we can actually do. So we're going to draw into Toon Harpy Lady, Toon BLS, Toon Kingdom, and a copy of the Blackstone of Legend. So if we're going first, you're immediately going to activate that copy of Toon Kingdom, which is going to banish the top 3 off your deck, which I'm just showing you guys as you wouldn't normally reveal this with just Toon Blue Eyes. Comic hand and a copy of Toon Page Flip. Now these would banish face down. You can look at them, so that's why I'm showing you guys what you banish. So we're going to banish those cards right there. Normal summon out our copy of the Blackstone of Legend. And your opponent usually would bait this card and just stop it, but that's fine because we have the 2 Toon Harpy Ladies. But we're going to tribute it and then special summon out our copy of Toon Red Eyes. So Toon Red Eyes' effect is going to trigger and let us special summon out our copy of the Blackluster Soldier, which is going to immediately come to our field. And then you pass. You pass with a field like this, and it's totally fine. And then you go to your opponent's turn. They can't attack, or they can attack these because they're Toon monsters, which is really cool. I like that. If your opponent doesn't control a Toon monster on the next turn, you can just hit them with these cards, which is really cool. But if they're going to be destroyed, then you can just banish a card off the top of your deck. So if we draw into our next turn, we're going to win, because we're going to drop the Toon Bookmark, which is going to let us search our Toon Page Flip from deck to hand, which is what I'm always going to search off of this card, because it mentions Toon World in the name. And then we're going to drop the Toon Page Flip and reveal in our deck, which unfortunately banished the Blue Eyes, a Toon Blackluster Soldier, Toon Red Eyes, and Toon Dark Magician. And we're going to shuffle up the deck. Now, I don't know. Again, I'm totally guessing these at random. I don't know the way I'm shuffling them. I have no idea, because it's totally random. I don't have an opponent to pick these cards out for me, and it's not really going to matter anyways which one I get. So let's go ahead and say this one, and we're going to hit the BLS. That's pretty good, because you're going to get the other ones back. I mean, the other ones are not going to be able to attack your opponent directly, which is pretty good, and ignores its summoning conditions, and this is going to protect your Toon Kingdom. Then you can do something really dirty if you want to, and special summon these to your side of the field, because they can be special summoned if you control Toon World, and you can destroy a spell or trap on your opponent's side of the field, which is pretty good as well. And you can only use the effect of Toon Harpy Lady once per turn to pop a card, but you can special summon her as many times as you want. And then you can use her and overlay both of them and do something like this, which is really crazy, and drop Utopia and then Utopia Double, detach a material from the Utopia Double, which, yes, I worked Utopia Double into this deck too, and then immediately add from deck to hand a copy of Double or Nothing, swing at your opponent with the copy of Utopia at 5,000, detach a material from this, and then drop the double or nothing, into means your opponent for 10,000, 3,000, 3,000, and 2,400 directly, which just with this damage right here, this is like 7,000. No, this is 8,400, and then this is 10,000 on top of it. So you're putting out 18,400 damage just with this board, which is bonkers good. If you go into your main phase 2 and you haven't used Extravagance, you can overlay these two and go into Hope Harboring Dragon, Titanic Galaxy if you want to. I rarely do, but it comes up if you want to go that route. But that's another way to play the deck. If you want to go for the copy of Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy, it's just another way to protect yourself if you're going into your opponent's next turn and you feel like you can finish them off with one Toon monster like the Red Eyes. You can overlay the BLSs to make that, which is another way. But this deck is ridiculously consistent for what it is now and what it was. And like, if you guys didn't know this, I know I mentioned this in a lot of my videos, but Toons were actually like the first deck that I ever really had, because I remember being 6 years old in the back of my parents' minivan, opening, going down the road, just came from Books A Million, my very first Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck, which was Structure Deck Pegasus, which we bought at Books A Million back in 2002. I never forget it, opening it in the back seat and it being like 8 o'clock at night, and you guys could just see like the traffic lights, and you're like, what is this card? What is this? I can't see it. And the first card that I really remember in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever seeing was this card right here, actually, which is Toon Blue Eyes White Dragon. And I remember seeing this card and going, wow, he looks stupid. And then I was like, I'm going to build that. And I started playing around with Toons. And that was one of the decks I actually played before I became DarkArmedDuelist, which is a cool little story for you guys. And as a kid, that was like one of my favorite cards. And I always thought Toon World was weird because you had to pay 1,000 life points just to activate it. So let's go ahead and go into our next test hand. Now we've gone down memory lane. We had to turn the page to that. So let's go ahead and draw into our next test hand and see what we can do. So we're going to draw right into an Extravagance, Toon Kingdom, Toon Dark Magician, Harpy Lady, and a copy of the Toon. Actually, we can get out a perfect field with this. So we're going to hold the Extravagance for this hand. We're going to go ahead and activate the copy of the Toon Kingdom, and then immediately special summon from our deck, or send the top 3 cards of our deck to the graveyard, or banish them, which is going to be this right here. Now, you wouldn't shuffle the deck, but it's a test hand, it doesn't matter. So we're going to banish those off the top of the deck, which is totally fine. Those were totally fine to banish. We're going to normal summon out our copy of Blackstone of Legend, and then immediately tribute it to special summon out our copy of the Toon Red Eyes Black Dragon. So now that we special summon our Toon Red Eyes Black Dragon, you can special summon a Toon monster from your hand for free, which is going to be our copy of the Toon Dark Magician. Now, the Toon Dark Magician's effect can tribute or send a Toon monster from your hand to the graveyard to immediately special summon from your deck a Toon monster. Now, if you want to go for a good board, you can put on your copy of BLS. But if you want to go for a really nostalgic board, you can put down the Toon Blue Eyes and summon Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician. But it's up to you guys which one you want to summon, either or. This one can attack your opponent directly. This one can't on the first turn that it is summoned. But since you're going first, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to lay this down just because, though. So we're going to put that Toon BLS back. Not to say I don't love BLS, because I love all the Toons. But I really like summoning the Blue Eyes. It's just cool. So we're going to go ahead and activate the Extravagance, which the Extravagance says banish between. That really drives me crazy to shuffle my extra deck. We're going to shuffle up our extra deck, and we're going to banish 6 from our extra deck, which is going to be a copy of Utopia, Utopia Double, Bergborg Blaster, Bahamut Shark, number 60, and a number 38 out of our extra deck, which is fine. We still have all of our resources that we're going to need. And then we're going to get to draw 2, which is the BLS and Toon Page Flip. Now you can hit the copy of your Toon Blackluster Soldier. So we're going to go ahead and drop the Toon Page Flip. And Toon Page Flip is going to let us reveal 3 Toons in our deck, which is going to be our copy of Red Eyes, our copy of Dark Magician. I believe we had a second Dark Magician. I don't think I banished it. Yeah, second Dark Magician, and our copy of BLS. And again, I don't know which ones they are. I'm going to shuffle them up as best I can, since again, I don't have an opponent. My opponent would randomly pick one, and I'm going to pick one at complete random. I don't know which one is which, and I'm going to summon. It doesn't matter again because it's test hand. So we're going to summon out this one right here. Go with the gut. And it's BLS. That's what I wanted. Okay, so we summon BLS to our side of the field, and now we have the literal most nostalgic board that you could summon with BLS, Toon Red Eyes, Toon Blue Eyes, and a Dark Magician. This is about as nostalgic as you can get, and you have the Toon BLS in hand if you need it, and you draw next turn into Toon Mermaid. So you have an insanely good board here just going first. You have Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Toon Dark Magician, and a copy of Toon BLS. I mean, how much cooler can this get? I mean, you got the 4 probably most iconic monsters, Toon versions, on your field ready to go at your opponent. I mean, that is just mind-blowing to me that this deck is even a thing nowadays. Like, it's just, like, I don't know if you can tell, but, and I know I say this in the beginning of every single video, but I am really excited about this deck. Like, I am tickled to death about this deck, that this deck is just so consistent now. And, like, this is probably a deck that I am going to throw in my main box, and I'm going to carry everywhere with me, because this deck is so much fun, and that's the whole point of Yu-Gi-Oh, guys, is just to have fun and enjoy the game, and that's what I'm doing right now, showing you guys how to play Toons. So let's go ahead and do another test hand and see what we can actually draw out of this deck, and see what we can do. So for the next test hand, we're going to draw into a copy of BLS, Toon Mermaid, Terraforming, Harpy Lady, and an Extravagance. Okay, so this is not bad at all. If we're going first, we're going to drop the Extravagance probably first, but I'm going to show you guys really quickly. If you're going second, you draw into the copy of the Blackstone Legends, which is probably going to be really helpful, and you're going to draw into it anyway, so it's fine. So let's go ahead and drop the Extravagance first, because you can, well, let's go ahead and shuffle the deck, because that wasn't really fair that I know what I'm going to draw. I'm going to go ahead and use the Terraforming, because I knew what I was going to get, and I really wanted it. So let's go ahead and drop the copy of the Extravagance and drop into a copy of the Toon Kingdom, which is going to banish the top 3 cards off the deck, which is going to be these 3, which is totally fine. It's not that big of a deal to banish those 3. Now, we can drop the copy of Extravagance now and banish 6 off the top of our deck, which is going to be these 6 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is fine. Hopefully, it's not totally awesome. And we hit the Toad, which is not bad. I mean, whatever. And then we're going to draw 2. So if we draw 2, there's my Blue Eyes, and we're going to draw into Bookmark. Bookmark is going to help out quite a lot, so we're going to drop the copy of Bookmark and draw into Page Flip, which Page Flip is going to make the deck even crazier. I cannot believe Page Flip is a thing. It's just like, hey, here's a free card. Here's a free Toon monster onto your side of the field. Okay, so we're going to reveal the Toon Dark Magician, we're going to reveal the Toon Red Eyes, and we're going to reveal the Toon Blackluster Soldier. Hopefully, we hit the copy of the Toon Red Eyes or the Toon Dark Magician. So we got a 1 in 3 chance. We got a total 1 in 3 chance. I don't, again, know which one is which. And we're going to see what we can get. I'm totally mixing these up. So I guess we get that one. That's the one we're going to get. I just dropped it, so that's what we're going to get. Shuffle these back into the deck. And we're going to tribute from our hand our copy of Toon Mermaid, because this is probably the, well, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead and tribute the Toon Mermaid. Yeah, drop the Toon Mermaid. Because if you drop the Toon Mermaid, you can still special summon the Harpy Lady and pop a card, and then you can tribute this and get out what you need. Okay, so, well, no, don't drop the Toon Mermaid. Drop the Blue Eyes, because you can get out a better board. Okay, yeah. So we're going to drop the Blue Eyes, and we're going to get out our copy of the Toon Red Eyes directly to our field. Now that we got Toon Red Eyes on our field, we can do this. You can use the Toon Red Eyes' effect to bypass the effect of BLS and immediately special summon it from our hand, and then special summon both of these, and then go immediately into a copy of whatever you need in your extra deck, which we can go for number 60 and double the attack of the BLS if you need to next turn, or you can hold these in your hand and then drop Utopia double against your opponent next turn. So if we draw into our next card, which is the next turn, we're going to draw into double or nothing. There we go. See, it's even the deck, like me and this deck are so simpatico. So we're going to drop these 2 cards on our side of the field, overlay them both again, and then drop our copy of Utopia double, and then Utopia, and then you don't need the search, so we're just going to overlay, attack our opponent, detach the material, and then swing at our opponent for game. But you didn't even have to go that route. You didn't even have to drop the Utopia double if you didn't want to. You could just end on this board and swing at your opponent and go 24, 25, 3,000, 13, 14, and you win. I mean, like, how much simpler can it get? This deck is crazy good. It's crazy fun, and it's just good, wacky fun. So let's do one last test hand. Let's do one more. One more just for old time's sake with Toon Blue Eyes. Let's see what we can actually get. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can draw in this deck. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle it up really quick and see what we can get. So let's go ahead and cut it one time, and there we go. So for the last test hand, we're going to draw on Toon Mermaid, Toon Dark Magician, Toon Blacklist Soldier, Page Flip, and hopefully a way to get into, let's go second, and we're going to draw into BLS, and for the final card, we're going to draw into a Bookmark. Okay, this is fine. This is actually really good. So we're going to go ahead and drop the copy of Bookmark and add our copy of Toon Kingdom to our hand. So once we get the Toon Kingdom to our hand, we're going to drop the Toon Kingdom because we need it, and we're going to then special summon from our hand the copy of, actually, don't special summon, drop the copy of Toon Page Flip, and reveal from your deck, reveal in your deck, oh, excuse me, you have to banish 3 for the Toon Kingdom. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're going to banish the Extravagance, the Bookmark, and the Toon Mermaid, which is fine. Okay, now you reveal the Dark Magician, the Red Eyes, and just for fun, the Blue Eyes, just for fun. And we're going to shuffle these 3 up, and we're going to reveal one of them. Now, hopefully, I can get out the Dark Magician. That's the one I really would like to have out of the 3 of them, but let's see what we can actually get. I don't know which one is which because I'm totally shuffling these at random, and we're going to see which one we can get. So we're going to get the Red Eyes, which is totally fine as well because we're going to just special summon out the copy of Dark Magician from the hand. So we're going to get the Dark Magician in hand, and then we're going to trigger its effect, and we're going to discard the Mermaid from our hand, which the Page Flip would go to the graveyard as well, because I'm playing in my spell and trap card zone. And the Dark Magician's effect is going to let us special summon a Toon monster from the deck, which you guys know which one I'm going to pick. Come on. You guys knew. So then we're going to use the BLS's effect, tribute 1 to special summon the other, and that's your field. I mean, how much better can they get? I mean, that's my ideal Toon field right there, is getting Dark Magician Blue Eyes, or Dark Magician Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and BLS. I mean, and if your opponent can't do anything, you win, because you're going to swing at them directly with all these, and this can even banish a card on the field. So, I mean, deal with me. Deal with me. Try and deal with me. If you draw on the next turn, you're going to draw into another Toon BLS, which is just going to kind of sit in your hand because you can't tribute Toons level 8. Actually, excuse me, it's not, because the Red Eyes can special summon it from hand, and then you go like this, and you're like, yeah, you're cute. Attack. Game. Game set. So that's it for the test hands, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed the little fun story time that you guys got with this deck. It's a super fun, super crazy deck that you can play a lot of different ways, and I really love the way that they actually made this deck. I am so happy that they made this deck the way it is, and it's so fun to play around with. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. See you later, guys.